my journey to tech started like, so officially not a developer. So let me just. Hello, is this one better? Is this better? All right, great. So let's start by saying that I'm not a developer, so it's good for people who do not have development background to also aspire to be in tech. So I always love to do tech things. Like I used to have an old laptop back in the days that I just want to do anything I can do on. So when they say there's a new innovation in tech, like back to days of Symbian phones. How many of us use Symbian Java phones? My freedom and likes of them. Alright, so I was like the major blog for everybody in my area in school. So we have this guy, he did, so at the time he was in telecoms, because my school called telecommunication studies. So when everybody goes to meeting to tell them they need internet access, we configure for them. Whenever I get to meeting, he will tell me, he will teach me what to do. Then after teaching me what to do, he will refer others to come back to meet me. So automatically I get to like keep doing it. So that built my interest in like the tech space. I was like, okay, here we come. So I studied economics and retail management. So I used to cook, serve dishes and the likes of them. Then I always knew that my passion is actually in tech. So I kept doing what I do, and I found myself doing research, then nutrition, back and forth. And 2017, when the Bitcoin boom happened, everyone was like, okay, there's this thing they call Bitcoin. Then they were using it for multi-level marketing stuff. Then I don't like multi-level marketing, so I was like, no, it's not my calling. I will never come in. Then until when the airdrop era came, and I'm like, yeah, there's things called airdrop. You do this and you get this token. Okay, so okay, this looking good, is money. So let's talk money. I like money actually. So started talking about that and back and forth. So they started teaching us about blockchain, Bitcoin. Oh, this is looking interesting. So out of all of this, my own passion is education. I did home economics and retail management education. So my passion is education. So as the tech keeps growing, I was like, okay, so my own area of this tech. So there's so many areas in tech. Like I did home economics and I understand that home economics are like 32 disciplines. So in tech also there are like multiple disciplines in tech. So like, okay, I'm going to relax in community management. So I came into tech fully as a community manager and I was like managing the communities. 2017, 2018, I was like the boss of many communities. Like, and I was just there till one night happened, one of our products crashed. Yes, so I ended up providing support for everyone using the product. And the devs woke up in the next day. I was like, okay, we're moving from community to functional QA. So like now you have to start interfacing with the community and the devs. Like, oh, this is becoming interesting. Like, so I get to understand the old dev stuff. Then one of our developers like, okay, so because of our time zone, we're going to teach you how to shut down an NPM server. So they taught me how to like shut down NPM server, reboot the server, restart the server. Like, oh, it's becoming interesting. So, like when the server crashed, I'm like, okay, restart NPM, blah 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 blah. Like, yeah, this is becoming fun. Then I started attending stand-ups and I discovered that I now understand the dev language. Now I can't still write the code. I can't still write any line of code till now, but then I understand if something is going wrong. I understand what goes wrong. If like one of the developers is having like a bad day and like, I don't know, okay, calm down, let's troubleshoot your code. So what have you done? So they tell me what they have done, and like, have you tried this? Because so I've interacted with a number of devs to understand that you have to try this. Have you tried this? No, I've not tried this. Oh, it works, yeah. Oh, now I'm not like this. Devs for devs. Thank you very much.
I think that's like one of the most interesting stories that you heard. But I think we're going to go back to the other speakers just to.
Hello, nice.
You guys are the back. Are you guys hear?
I don't know if you can hear me clearly. No. Should we wait for that mic? Testing. Awesome. All right. So can the people in the back hear me? Nice. So my name is Seun, Lanlege, and I actually do a lot of stuff, but primarily I'm the principal engineer at Composable Finance, which is a crypto product. And on my free time, I lead Polytope Labs as this mad scientist in quotes. And Polytope is basically a community of protocol layer blockchain engineers. So if you're familiar with blockchain, you will know that there are two kinds of blockchain engineers, right? There are the smart contract developers, and you can think of them as the JavaScript developers if you want to compare with Web 2. Now, protocol layer engineers are the ones that build the browser, aka the actual blockchain platform that executes the smart contracts. So I've noticed that there's a sort of deficiency from engineers who actually work on protocol layer stuff. That's what I do. And so Polytope is how I try to foster this community of protocol layer engineers. So how did I get into tech? Actually, my story is kind of similar with my brother right here. So I got into tech doing a lot of cheats. If you remember Simple Server, it was Simple Server here back in the good old days. Nice, I see a few people. So Simple Server was actually a cheat that allows you to run a proxy on MTN servers, and you can basically bypass the network. And so that's how I got into tech, and like realizing that tech is just this information asymmetry game, right? So people who are in tech just know a lot about tech than people who don't. So if you know a lot about tech, you can start to exploit the system. You can do things like hacking. You can even build products. And so that sort of put me on the journey in university to trying to learn about the software I was using, because you remember Simple Server is actually a Python script. So I actually decided to read the Python code. This is interesting. Then I started to learn HTML, CSS, JavaScript, React. That was back in 2015. So I worked my way through, web development first, then mobile development, then back-end development, and then it was around 2017 as well, where the Bitcoin bubble hit 20K, and I was like, what the hell is Bitcoin? So that's when I actually really started to take it seriously, because I'd been hearing about Bitcoin, but it's the internet, right? There's a lot of scams on the internet. They tell you to buy something new every day. But when I saw Bitcoin hit 20K, I decided to actually really take a look at what Bitcoin was. That's when I discovered it's actually technology. It's this technology that tries to bring together a lot of different sort of aspects of computer science. I'm talking about game theory, cryptography, distributed systems, VMs, that's programming languages, and build a system that allows people to not have to trust each other. Fundamentally, that's what blockchains are. And I don't know, you guys are probably familiar with the shadowy person behind the first blockchain, Satoshi Nakamoto. He just comes on the internet and just drops knowledge on everybody. This is the Bitcoin white paper, deal with it. And I just found that was very interesting, very beautiful culture. And so that's how I got into blockchains. I read up on the technology, read up on the paper, started to do some open source contributions to blockchains. And then around 2018, I got my first full-time job as a blockchain engineer working at Parity. So Parity is the company behind Polkadot blockchain. So I worked at Parity for 3 years, did a lot of stuff with them, worked on the Ethereum protocol for Parity. They also had the Polkadot network, which I contributed to. And now I'm currently leading a blockchain engineering team at Composable Finance, and they're like a DeFi protocol that, if you're familiar with the parachain architecture, they are a parachain on Polkadot. So they provide DeFi services to people who want to use DeFi in a cross-chain ecosystem. And so that's my short story on how I got into blockchain.
So go back to you, Famous. That was your interesting story.
Okay. Hello. Okay, so my name is Famous Ehichioya. Can you guys hear me very well? Thank you. Alright, so I'm the CTO of Youverify. My story is kind of funny. It was more of a... Okay, let me tell the story. So, my interest came from movies, actually, to join. When I was little, I always loved movies, sci-fi movies that have to do with robotics, futuristic time travel, right? All of that. So whenever I watch these movies, even though I know it's sci-fi, I've always wondered, could they be real, right? And even at that, there are real things around me, like television, the computers, and all of that. So, but then I couldn't do anything about it. So fast forward until 2015. So 2015, I went to school one day, and my school computer lab, I was in SS2, not SS3, rather. My school computer lab had just gotten a computer, a desktop computer, and for the first time, we were introduced to Microsoft Word. I typed on Microsoft Word, and I was fascinated by this little box in front of me, computer. So I got home, and I pestered my dad for 3 weeks. I was practically not eating food. He finally gave in and he bought our first desktop computer. Yes, I've had computers since 2015, a desktop. And the first thing I did was I dismantled the computer. I crashed it. After 48 hours, I lost it, I separated the power pack and everything because I'm that child that likes losing the television 3 days after that they have bought it. Because I want to know how it works. So that was my first fascination. So I crashed the computer, they called someone to fix it. I watched him fix it. I crashed it again and I fixed it by myself. I had to buy Windows XP, Windows 98 and Windows XP then to install. So I started installing Windows XP, right, in computer right from 2015. But then I've always wondered, how are all this software made? So I asked questions and then they told me, oh, it's programming. Where can I learn this? Then I saw an institute around and then I learned QBasic. QBasic was boring because all I could see was a black screen and writing calculators, 2 plus 2 equals to 4. What is my name? Then you put your name. Hello, famous. It was boring, like this is not Microsoft Word, this is not correct Word. Like what's this? I want to make this software. But it was around that time I got admission into university. This was like around 2018. In the university, I saw final year students creating projects, and I could see user interface. They were using Java then to create final year project. I was like, yes, this is what I'm talking about. I want to be able to create something like this. And I went to the school library. I saw a C++ textbook. I started learning C++. That was my first programming language, apart from QBasic. So I started writing C++, and then I also termed it boring because all I could do then was just terminal applications. I could only create terminal applications. If some of you have tinkered with C++, you realize how difficult it is to use to create an application with interface. As a developer, when you want to create something, well, as a human, when you are creating something, you want to see it, you want to feel it, you want to like do something with it. So with C++, I could create there was for fun. I was not worried about. I was just busy replicating application on App Store. I would download an app, I will replicate it. I will download an app, I will replicate it. I practically built every website that was popular then with HTML and CSS. Right, so that was what I did then. I replicated Facebook, Twitter, all I could find with HTML and CSS. And that was how I started. So my first real job was in 2013 when some guys in my school wanted to build e-learning. Then, you see, just came. Powers the video call, when you make video call on your browser using Zoom or Google Meet. WebRTC is what powered it. Then it just came out. So I had to learn, and first project I did that real people use them. That was in 2013. And this was how I entered in tech, right? And since then, I've grown. Like I said, I've run through all the stack, from front end to mobile, back end. I even did embedded computing, where you use C to create, use Arduino or Raspberry Pi. I did that then. But all of this was, for me, it was still play. And all this, it was all trial and error. There was nothing concrete out of it. So my first real career started in 2016 when I came to Lagos. Actually for the second time, when I came to Lagos, and I got a real job as a full stack engineer. Full stack in the sense that I was the only person creating a mobile app, a front end, and a back end. I was the only engineer for a startup. Mobile app, front end, back end, right, in Lagos here. So, of course, at the point we got other guys, and since then in 2016, and I've been in the same company since 2016. Okay, so I've been in the same company since 2016 till now. So I said, now I'm the CTO of the company. So that is how my career actually started. But I must say, one thing that made all of this possible, and I'm sure my colleague here can agree with me, passion. Over the years, a lot of guys to meet me. I want to tech. I want to go into
them are into it for the reasons. A lot want to go into it because they money. But then I started. I was doing it because I was passionate. I just wanted to build something that works. We use and be happy, right? So it was passion that made it possible. Thank you very much.
I just have one question. What if like money is my passion? So do you think, I mean, some of us here, tech bros, we know
Do
that.
finance.
Exactly. So if money is
Don't
my
do tech,
passion,
do
what would I do
finance.
now?
Just do finance.
Yes.
Okay.
I didn't go to finance. In tech, programming is something that requires you fully mentally available. And you need to learn and learn really, really, really fast. So if what is money, trust me, anybody here that has been in tech for years will tell you the first 2 years, you will not make shishi. You will not make shishi. So if your passion is money, you'll be discouraged. In fact, I have an experience I can share from someone I know, a coursemate. When we were in university then, he wanted to do tech because we were doing tech. But he wanted to do it because he wanted to make money. He started learning C++ when we were. He learned it, he realized he could make money with it. He had, and he was paid. He started doing PHP. Did PHP, he learned for a while, he realized he couldn't really build anything, right? So he dropped it. Fast forward, 2020, he called me. He wants to reactivate his passion for technology. That is seeing the way everybody now is tech bros, everybody's making money, they are cashing out, that he wants to learn. He said, he now asked for my advice, what can we start with? And I asked him, what are you passionate about? When you look at tech, which part in tech do you want to be? There's so many aspects of it. Yeah, there are some of us that have dabbled all through, right? But you can't start everything at, it took me over 15 to all things. You have 6 months to be good at something. What is it? But this is the funny thing. Chose React. He chose React. He started with React, and after 3 months, he built a gallery application that he learned from a tutorial on make money. And I said the gallery application is not enough, because all you did was type exactly what somebody typed in a video tutorial. Now if I give you a unique problem, will you be able to solve it? He said, it doesn't matter. You just look for someone that wants to do a gallery app so they can make money. I said, it doesn't work that way. You understand? Then, but now, and I told him, friend, you need to calm down and you need to go through the process. And finally, he went through the process. He resigned from his job and he was doing something by the side, and then went through proper channels. So he went through Decathlon and he finished their program. Now he is working in a company as a software engineer. But at that point, he had to drop that mindset, like, I want to make money. Now he's so passionate that he's not looking about money, he's looking at how he can solve a problem, how he can solve a problem. So if you want to go into tech, don't let money drive you, right? If you chase money, usually it's running away from you. Anything you are chasing is ahead of you. That's the truth. The best way to catch something is not to follow it behind, because they are ahead of you. Is to try to corner them, go through something. And in tech, it's passion. Check any great tech person today. They were all passion driven. Money is Jara.
All right, great. So I just want to add to what he said, and I want to use the last example he used. In tech or in any business you find yourself, the best thing you need to do is to create value. So if you are chasing money, you are chasing what is in front of you. But if you create value, you attract. So just like you drop a cube of sugar on the table, what will come for it? Ants will come for it. Just so the same way, drop yourself value on the table, and other stuff like money, the big life, everything will attract and come by themselves instead of you chasing after them. Thank you.
we are running out of time, so we're just going to take short questions now because we need to ask questions. Some people are nodding, some people are shaking their heads, so we need to ask questions. So my second question is, I'm going to direct this question to Famous. The blockchain industry is new, is still developing. Do you think it is worth taking your career for? Do you think all of us here, we are here to build our career? Even me, I want to build my career in blockchain. So do you think it is worth the try?
Yes. So I don't know how many of you read publication from McKinsey, Deloitte, and all of that. You need to, when you want to start a new career, you need to look at the future. And if you look in the past, there are some career in the past that everybody wants to do that now it's not as viable as it was before. So I can tell you, blockchain is in all our future. Definitely, I implore every one of us here, if you don't want to go into it properly, like fully, right, you need to have more than basic information about it. You don't really have to be into the tech, the building parts. You could be in the trading parts, right? It's in all our future. You see, blockchain, AR, augmented reality, virtual reality, and artificial intelligence is in all our future. So whatever it is that we want to do, we should have more than basic knowledge of it. If at all we don't want to go fully into any of them.
So talking about basic knowledge, I'm going to direct questions to you, Seun, now. What are the skills that you need to have, maybe starting your career in blockchain, or if you're switching paths, what are those skills that you need, those fundamental skills that you need?
Yeah, so I'm actually going to play devil's advocate, right? And say that you don't want to jump into blockchain, especially if you've not already rooted yourself in the software industry properly. Blockchain is a compound area of research. It's not even an industry, in my opinion, because I've been in the industry for like 5 years now. It's an experiment. Ethereum, Bitcoin, all these cryptocurrencies, they are all experiments. They've not yet proven that they will be around forever, especially because they're not fundamentally sustainable. Bitcoin is not sustainable. If you read constant reports about the energy usage of the network, Ethereum only just recently switched to proof of stake, dropping its energy usage, right? So these are like in-flight changes that they had to make to keep this thing sustainable. So I would advise people who are not really rooted in the software industry to pick up normal software stuff, backend, mobile, web, understand the internet, understand what software can do. Then you can now start to pick up the required resources for blockchain. Now, what do you need to be a blockchain developer? You need cryptography. All the math you've been running away from, this is where you're going to admit it. You need distributed systems. Now, this is also another experimental part of computer science, right? We don't even have like proper research on how a distributed system should function properly. It's all experiments, trial and error. So distributed systems, another thing you need to know. You need to understand how virtual machines work. You've already heard of Solidity, you've heard of Solana and their WASM execution environments. These are all things you have to be very, very comfortable with if you're going to be a blockchain developer. Now, the last thing I'll say is you need to understand game theory and incentive design. The whole reason why crypto is supposed to be distributed is because it incentivizes people to keep the network alive. So if you're going to build a project, a crypto project, you have to be able to design your project so that it can continue to run even when you are not there. Game theory and incentive design. So those are the 4 pillars of crypto that I would recommend. If you're already rooted, like I said, in the software industry, you can try to learn about and then transition into blockchain.
Okay.
It's hard. Don't let anybody lie to you.
So this question is for you now, Deji. He has mentioned all those stuff that we have not heard before for me. So, and with the way the Nigerian investors are, we don't see these subjects being taken in classes. So where can we get all these things now that he has mentioned? Which site? Where exactly? Let's know.
Okay, so before I go, let me say that. So Seun has made it very hard. So the good part is that you can start from where you are. I recommend starting from the state of known to unknown. So all those cryptography, blah, 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 it's big. Start with HTML. Do CSS. Understand JavaScript. Take your time and understand JavaScript very well. Then when you are now done, you now move to Solidity. I think he's talking more from a protocol engineer point of view. Don't do protocol first, it will mess you up. That's the truth now. See,
So, the reason why I'm advocating for protocol layer is because from my experience, right, the industry is currently in the year 2005. If you think about, web browsers, how they, recently came on and people were building web browsers. Web browsers were not stable in 2005. It's only now that they are stable. There's been a lot of work done. There's been a lot of HTML5. You can write a game in the browser, right? Like you can do very complex networking in the browser. Blockchains are not yet at that level of robustness. What is the Ethereum transactions per second speed? If you're in crypto, you know this, right? What is Bitcoin's transaction per second speed? We need more people in the protocol layer making the blockchains faster, more efficient, more resilient, before we can then now start to build applications on top of this resilient architecture. So, one last thing I want to say is that because of blockchains are not resilient, look at the applications that are living on blockchains right now. None of them deal with real world data. Think about it, NFTs, they live on the blockchain. They don't bring in any real world data. DeFi all still lives on the blockchain. They don't bring in any real world data. And the reason why we can't bring in real world data is because the blockchains themselves can't handle that amount of data. Imagine trying to build an Uber on the blockchain. That would never work. So, do you see what I'm saying? We need more protocol engineers.
All right, so I agree that we need more protocol engineers, but then you have to start from where you are. So, how many people are actually building phones? Like you build the phone hardware. How many people are building phone hardware? What everybody is doing is to build the software that runs on the phone, right? So let them continue to build their phone, and we build the softwares. Then when we understand how to build the softwares, we now migrate to building the actual phone hardware. All right, so there are a lot of online resources for people that are planning to come into the blockchain space. YouTube. So I was seeing this on Friday at the Twitter space. There are a lot of open source documents that you can learn with. But then maybe because I have a community, I'm a fan of having a community to learn with. All right, so working with the community will actually help because the community have people who have been ahead of the space, who have put their experiences together to curate like document and material. So I recommend if you see like a complete Udemy materials, go for it. Then there are various communities. Like I think Seun is doing something good at Polytope Lab. We are doing the same at Web3 Bridge where we have like curated materials for Web2 and Web3 guys. So I think there are a lot of open communities like that. So for people who are good enough to like read the room, there are a lot of Twitter trend that talks about some people put out their own experiences, how they started, their first languages, how they get from ear to ear. If you can do that, that's a good one. But then if you can't, I advise you join communities that already have like curated materials for you to like learn with. Thank you very much. Examples, I've shared examples. Polytope Lab does something like that. Protocols. But then if you are not going to protocols, Web3 Bridge is one way to start. Web3bridge.com. Yeah, so we have like so Web3 Bridge is a community entirely, so you can get from the website to Telegram, then follow through to the process of getting up through this. Thank you.
Okay. Hey, bro. Can you guys hear me from there? Okay, so I want to say something, right? Because this talk is building a career in blockchain. I want to focus on the fundamental. It's very important. I don't want you to be like my friend that started in 2012 when we were in university, but he got it right. November 2021. Imagine the time difference. His experience is just counting 1 year experience in the industry now. It is very important you focus on concepts. Don't be a framework-driven guy. That was what he is trying to say. First principle learning. Elon Musk is a preacher of that, and that's what I do. First principle. Think about something you know very well that you can never forget until you die. It is something you know the basic. First principle is very, very important. It is why a lot of persons are not good at some things, especially mathematics, because of first principle. If you want to go into blockchain, I will say what he said. It is hard, but your passion will help you skate through. He skated through. I did.
I'm sure everyone here knows somebody that has scaled through, right? So if they can do it, all you just have to do is push. There's always a breaking point when you're learning anything. If you can pass it, that's all, right? So to learn blockchain, you need to focus on the fundamentals. It's very important. Programming language concepts. The blockchain is a distributed ledger. You need to master all the concepts of distributed computing. Very important. It is based on blocks. That means you need to understand data structures. Very important. There are many materials on the internet on data structures. Just type in data structure JavaScript or just type data structures. You will see a lot of materials. Cryptography. It is very, very, very important. Except you want to be the blockchain developer that you'll be building something based on what others have built. If you learn the fundamental, you will be a creator. You want to be a creator. That is what will make you someone respected in the industry. You need to be a creator, and to be that, you have to go to the fundamental. So you need to pick a programming language and learn it. JavaScript, Python, Java, or C++. Pick any of them and learn it. While learning it, focus on data structures, focus on cryptography. If you learn these things I said, you can practically learn anything, whether it is blockchain, artificial intelligence. It doesn't even matter. I mean, you could learn a programming language in a weekend. I mean, these are facts, but only if you focus on the fundamental. It's not going to be easy. You will do it for 6 months, you have nothing to show for it. But trust me, it's a good investment for your future, right? Because it makes you move at a speed others will be asking how. Just 6 months, this guy is already doing this, he's already doing that. You will be different, right? So as you have suggested, there are a lot of boot camps program in Lagos, and their companies have some, right, that they have. So you just check their website and you get that a lot of free materials on YouTube, Udacity, Udemy. I'm sure that some of you have already have one video somewhere in your folder that you've downloaded 2 years ago and you've not even started watching it. Stop downloading plenty videos on things. Download only one that you need. You understand? I'm saying this from experience. I've been I've been in that shoe where I had 200 gig of videos. Ask me how many I watched. I didn't. Right? Don't be a hoarder. Just focus. Have a plan. And the plan is what has been highlighted here. Focus on the fundamental and ultimately get a mentor. Thank you.
I feel very, I have so much knowledge now. I think I'll just, after today, I'll just drop this mic, start my business. I think.
Banjo is a React developer. So I just finished learning from Udemy, Brad Travis's course. So I'm kind of confused, or will I say I don't know the next step in my career for now, if I should go into full stack or I should go into another field, but I think I'm interested in blockchain. So I want to ask you, Mr. Seun, that if I want to learn what are these processes? Because once I go on Twitter, I see you have to first learn Web3, then after Web3 you have to learn Solidity, then you have to learn I want you to give me a step by step, because most of the time what I do is that when I wanted to learn front end, so when you told me I'll start from HTML, I'll just go to YouTube Free Bootcamp and download their HTML video. Once I'm done, I download their CSS video and watch it. Once I'm done, I download their JavaScript. And I also downloaded their React. That's where I'm currently at. So I want you to give me a step by step. Once you give me a step by step, I just go online and download the necessary resources. Thank you.
I would advise, before you learn programming of Web3, go and learn about the Web3 industry. What are the different players in the industry? Does that make sense? Where do I want to be working eventually? Do I want to work at an Ethereum startup writing Solidity? Do I want to be doing protocol engineering? Which of the ecosystems are good? There's a lot of ecosystems. There's Solana, there's Binance Smart Chain, there's IBM, Hyperledger. It's crazy, right? And all of them all have a different tech stack. If you learn something on one side, you cannot use it on the other side. So first off, you will take a step back and research the industry, or rather the stack that is promising to you. I'm sure you learned about React on your own, and you're like, okay, this is promising, people are getting jobs in it. So you want to do your own industry research first. There's a reason why in crypto we always say do your own research, do your own research. It's not a meme. You can easily get lost. Do your own research. What do I want to do? Do I want to do Ethereum? Okay, Ethereum, you can do protocol layer Ethereum, you can do Solidity, dApp layer Ethereum. Okay, you want to do dApp layer Ethereum, that's a Solidity for you. Solidity, Ganache, Hard Hat, Truffle, all these tools. You want to do protocol layer, you do Golang, you learn about cryptography, you learn about distributed systems, and you can start to apply to any of the client themes in Ethereum. Does that make sense?
Okay, so I want to add, so congratulations, you're a tech bro now, right? So you just finished learning HTML, CSS, and React. You know my advice, right? You say you should understand the industry. Don't focus on the technical part of blockchain yet. Understand the blockchain industry. What application, what is even possible, right? Once you have done, as you are doing that, please use what you've learned already. Get industry experience. Your React, get a React gig, a job, contract full time. Play on it. Work, play in that space for like a year or two, because you are still a baby, right? You are still a baby in the industry. You need to understand this technology very well, and it's by using it, right? Play in that space while researching, understanding the Web3 space. Don't go too deep into the technical part yet. And for those of you who don't know which platform to go into Web3, like you say, you can easily get lost. And if you learn one, you can't use it for, you can't transfer it to another, right? Ethereum is the most popular, right? So just to be safe, right? Just learn Ethereum. If you are confused, which one? Should I learn Cardano, Hyperledger, IBM blockchain? Just focus on Ethereum and learn that, because with that, I think you've captured 70% of the market. Yeah, 60-70% of the market, right? Yeah, 60% of the market. So if you go and learn Cardano, your market is very small, very tiny. So just to be safe, just learn Ethereum and everything around it, smart contract, everything. Learn it, right? And you'll be fine.
Let me add this. You already learned React. So like he said, take your time to like use what you've learned already. That's a mistake so many people do. Like, so you've learned it, what have you built with it? So the more you build, the more you discover that you don't even know. Like the more you see challenges that shows you that you don't know, then I think one easy way to get into Web3 with React is join hackathons, honestly. So you're already on the front end side. So it's easy for you to like work as front end Ethereum for somebody, like they're doing hackathons, join hackathons where you get to contribute on the front end side. That way you are doing React.js, it's easy for you to like learn, like you're already in that line. It's for you to like learn, then understand more. Okay, so this is the problem I had the first time with implementation then. So that might be an easy way into even Ethereum itself. So build with React, understand it very well. Then I think the best way to start with hackathons, honestly, is will help you.
Okay, thank you very much. My name is Seun. I'm from Cameroon. I came for this program. I'm a full stack web developer, and I got into blockchain earlier this year. And when I got into a program in decentralized finance, but all that we were taught there were the yellow papers, the theory part. And on my own, I started learning how to code in Solidity. But then again, I'm trying to ask, what are the opportunities? What other opportunities are there? If I don't want to build a project, if I don't want to build something in any of the blockchain ecosystems, what else, how can I work? Can I work as what other options are there? What are the positions that I can work in blockchain without having to build a product?
Dev relations, like, so you already understand the technical part of it, and there are projects looking for people who can write technical contents. So technical product managers are there, technical content writers are there, developer relations. So you're in a team where you understand their tech stack, but there are people that want to build the tech. So, but they're having problems with the tech, so you can like help them. So become like the technical support staff. Like then for Ethereum, I think even generally in the crypto space, like you mentioned game theory and tokenomics. Like tokenomics is one big area that so many people don't get right yet. And understanding from the technical point of view will give you like an edge. So there are a lot of non-coding technical skills in the blockchain.
Okay, I think he has mentioned some of the ones I wanted to say, but then apart from, I think one of what I would advise you to go into is the community management, right? This blockchain community management. We have the communities, they are growing every day, and then we have fewer persons to manage it, and someone with a blend of technical, right, like you have already. So you understand it from the technology part, you just don't want to play in it, right? So managing this blockchain crypto community, it's actually very, very good for you. And there's also this new role now, blockchain product project manager. It is new, so you could be one, right? Having a technical understanding of blockchain makes you the perfect candidate. You should check it out. Blockchain product manager, blockchain project manager. You should check it out. It's very, very, very good. And there are some companies I've seen that have such roles open now, and they're looking for someone with your exact profile.
My name is Abdesemi Monsura. I'm sorry, please. Away from blockchain, DeFi, and the rest, like I'm interested in design, like UI, UX, and I've not had anything like that. Is my own. I don't know. Is there? Please talk about that.
Also now blockchain UI UX designer is a new role. Just take your phone, type it, blockchain UI UX designer. So because the way blockchain product works is different from the traditional ones, right? From Web 2, right? So you require certain knowledge about the platform to be able to design experience, user experience, right? Because blockchain products are built with privacy in mind. So there's a way these products works, there's a way they are designed, there's a kind of experience that they give. If you check all blockchain products, they always look exactly the same thing. Open Binance, open different one, open their products. You realize they almost all look the same. So it's a space now. So yes, there is a career for you there.
It's about security. Like these smart contracts are actually programmed by human beings, yeah? So there was an expert recently on the Solana chain, and it was not funny actually. Okay, so like I would like to hear from you guys, since you guys are the technical experts, and you guys have been sounding very, very reassuring. So like, what's the place for security in blockchain and smart contracts? You know, the whole DeFi thing. Because $8 million, man, smart contracts, Solana chain. You guys must have heard about it now, yeah. So it was just a wallet. So it was like the expert actually came from a DeFi app that people could actually connect to a wallet to be able to access some DeFi applications. Okay, so like I'd like to know about the place of security so that when I'm storing my own tokens, you know, I'll know how to be more careful. Yes.
Wallets. You know, for the JavaScript developers in the house, you have dependencies, right? You pull in some random dependency of npm, and then unbeknownst to you, that dependency actually has access to your full application. If your application is a browser that is handling, you know, the private keys of people's accounts, all your dependencies can read the browser environment and pull those keys and then post them to the server of the person who's attacking you. So that's the security vulnerability that he's talking about. Now, that is a very, very hard software engineering problem. That is not even a blockchain problem. It's called a supply chain attack, where somebody, you know, gets some malicious dependencies into your product, into your project, and then that dependency is, you know, it's doing everything, it's doing whatever I can do. It's maybe it's recording your screen, it's, you know, it's reading your environmental variables, it's reading your inputs. Unfortunately, we can't fix that, you know, in a blockchain-specific manner. But what I can say though is that blockchain developers can try to be more aware of the dependencies you pull into your project, especially if you're writing something that's going on chain, right? Like you want to actually probably even read the code of your dependency. Now this is a very different like scheme from normal Web 2, right? You just put in a dependency, whatever. A dependency to calculate two numbers, you don't care. But you can't do the same thing in blockchain. You should, even if you can, try to only use audited. So we also have this class of software that's audited, right? So external teams will audit the code and say, okay, there's nothing wrong with this. So you want to also use only audited dependencies for your blockchain products. So I guess that answers that question.
Okay, I can see more hands, but the thing is this, we are short of time. But at the end of this event, there's going to be like some hours, some minutes to ask questions. So you can just write down your questions, and at the end of this main event, you can ask your questions. I hope that works. You can also direct the questions to any of the speakers here, even at the end of the event. So I'm going to give a quick recap of everything that we've learned here. First thing, blockchain is hard. That is what we should know. It is very hard. Yes, it's very hard. The grammars are big, but go with your passion. Don't just start building your career in blockchain because of the money. If you have the passion, it will be made easier for you. And try to have a community. Try to go through the process. There's a process. Go through the process, and hopefully, before the end of today, we can all put on our LinkedIn portfolio that we are we are blockchain developers now. That's all for today. I thank you guys for really being very patient with us. We started very late. If not, I would have taken more questions. I would started very, very late. But hopefully, at the end of this event, you can ask your questions during the main event. Thank you guys very much, and thank you to the panelists. You guys were awesome. Please, if you have personal questions, if you see them going out, just write it in paper in their hands. So they will respond to you. Just write everything so that they can, because you guys need to really get everything off your mind. Thank you guys once again for being here, and I hope to see you guys. So, okay, please say your social handles so that they can find you and DM you.
Right, so I think mine is at Ebunyo08, EBUNAYO08.
Is that for Instagram or Twitter?
No, I don't use Instagram. It's only Twitter, please.
Okay, Twitter, please just say it again.
So, Ebunyo08, 08, EBUNAYO08.
Okay, that's great. So,
Mine is Seun Lanlege, so that's Seun, but then LANLEGE, and that's on Twitter. LANLEGE, Seun Lanlege, one word.
Okay, mine is I am famous prior, one word. So just type famous prior on Twitter. I should be the only search results. Yeah, famous prior, that's my name. So it's a unique. Priority. Famous prior. Just type it, you say it. I am famous prior, that's my name.
okay, so if you have more questions, you can so they can DM you.
Yes, my
What's the
name is
email?
yeah.
Email is ayodeji@web3bridge.com.
Or you can mail me famous at youverify.co. We have so many roles open. Check our page. We are hiring.
Just check and said I was at Technext conference 2.0.
Email famous at youverify.co. Famous at Youverify. You then verify one word. .co. Yeah, so you can just.
So just for clarity, so they can DM me questions and you guys are going to answer the questions.
Yes.
Okay, please just bombard them with questions and get a response. Thank you guys very, very much once again, and yeah.
All right, thank you.
Twitter handle. Who's Twitter handle?
On my social media, that's my I am famous prior.
Okay.
LinkedIn, just type famous prior. Like I said, Pascal is the only person bearing that name in the world together, so just type it there.
Okay, that's great. Thank you guys once again, and we're just going to move this. Please give a round of applause to all our panelists. They've been wonderful. Okay, thank you guys.